Hey guys, I'm looking for a tutorial online on how to remove my radiator without having to remove my bumper, and I couldn't find anything, but I found a way to do it, and I'm going to show you a quick tutorial on how to do it if you want to go that route. I don't want the extra step of having to reinstall the radiator, not the radiator, the bumper. After I'm done with the radiator, I want to just plug and play. So this is my tutorial on how to do this, and without having to remove your bumper. Now some people claim it's easier, it's faster. I don't want the extra step, so this is my tutorial how to do this. You'll remove everything from the front, as you can see. Just quick tutorial. If you haven't gotten to this part, you'll have to do some extra work. I'm not showing how to get to this part. I'm only showing you once you get to this part what to do without having to remove the bumper. Okay, without having to remove the bumper, the front bumper. You take off your fan, of course. The fan is held by two bolts, one here and one here. Once you get it out, you could lift the fan up and wiggle it and maneuver it out. Now, the radiator is locked into these little cups. You see that little hole? Bottom right here. This is what the radiator sits in, very snug. You're gonna have to pull it out that hole by pulling it from the top. There's one on each side. I'm gonna show you what it looks like on the bottom. Once you do that, you will have access to two bolts, all the bolts that's holding the radiator to this plastic frame, which I've already removed. Okay, one of them will be basically right underneath here. I'll show you the position it's in on the other side because I haven't removed one from the other side. But if I get this camera down here, maybe I can show it to you. Nope, I can't get to it. But anyways, once you pull the radiator up, it'll give you enough clearance to see the bolt and remove the bolt. Okay, now this is the radiator with the plastic bracket, and this hole here is where the bolt goes. You see this hole right here? See if I could zoom in and see it. This hole right here is where that bolt will go. You'll put your socket wrench right here and remove it. Very easy. As you can see, you have plenty of clearance. This can only be removed with the bumper off if you're going through the tutorial. But once you remove the radiator from the suction cup on the bottom, like I said, I'll show you what it looked like. You could do that. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side, and I'm going to show you where the bolt is on this side as well. Okay, this is the bolt. You see the bolt right there? You have access to it from the front without having to remove the bumper, the front bumper. This is the bolt. Once you remove that, this plastic frame falls off and you're able to pull the radiator straight out. Now the suction cups that this is locked into on the bottom look very similar to this. Okay, look very similar to this. These two little cups right here, but it's more pointy. It's locked into two sides. Let me show you what it looks like. One is directly down here from the line. If you follow the radiator, it'll be directly under here. Okay, this is it. You have to pull it out of that suction cup. And the next one is straight to the other side right here. Okay, I'm not sure if it's showing up on the video because the sun's in my eye. Okay, that is it. See, the radiator is still sitting in here. You have to pull it out. It takes a little force. You won't damage anything. It's supposed to be pulled out. Once you got it out, as you can see, the radiator is loose, very loose. That gives you access to remove the bolts from the front. Now, after I remove these two bolts, I will remove the two bottom bolts, hold the bracket towards the side right here, and I'll be able to remove the radiator without having to disconnect the condenser or the AC compressor, any of that, AC lines or any of that. I'm gonna pause the video right here and get back to work. Okay, I am doing this with one hand, so please understand it's very difficult to maneuver, but as you can see, a 10 millimeter with the socket, it's attached, plenty of space, and removing the bolt. Okay, now it's difficult to do this with one hand, so I'm gonna put the camera down again. Okay, I removed the bolt. Now once you take this bolt out, this with the hose removed, remove the radiator back a little bit, and this plastic frame can come out. Like I said, this is a little hard to do with one hand. There it is. Plastic frame out. My bumper still on. And this is the radiator with the condenser attached. Now this is the hole I was telling you about. And this attached straight into it. There's a little pin that is attached straight into it and it locks into place. Now, the bolt we just removed came from this. There's another bolt from here, which we'll remove from the front. Same process. And same thing on this side. All the bolts could be removed from the front. Now, I'm going to remove this bracket, this screw here. And there's another one. There's these two right here. Once these are off, my radiator will detach from my condenser and I could just wiggle it out without having to remove the condenser or any of my AC line and having to recharge the whole system. I will pause here again and continue the process. As you can see, all of this is out. See if I could zoom in to the parts here. Okay, there's all the other parts, and this is the work. Okay, pause, and I'll be back. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to stop the video right here. My child is becoming irritated. I do have a 7-month-old while I'm doing this, so this will be paused. If I could edit the video, I will, but this is it. Okay, once you can disconnect the hose from what I could see, these two holes here, okay, this one and this one, this is attached to this side here, and this one's attached to this. You disconnect this from here, and this will come right off the radiator. I believe this is the transmission cooling line. Okay, this is the transmission cooling line, and this is also, I believe, is the transmission cooling line as well. So disconnect from this side and this side. You should be able to maneuver this out from behind this clip. As you can see, this has some wiggle room, you see, and pull the radiator from it. But I can't do that right now. My kid is becoming irritated. But you see, you pull the clip out. This same thing, the two holes down here, remove this clip and this clip. This whole side will be free. Remove this little cover here, pull the tabs on these two holes will be free. This whole side is good to go, and that's it. As you can see, my radiator is pretty much out. Oh, it got sucked into the hole again. Okay, you see how much pressure I had to pull to get it out of that nipple. This little nipple down here. Okay, so anyways, my radiator is free. Nothing's holding it besides the hose. Both sides. Okay, as you can see, nothing's holding it, and everything's still intact. Grill, bumper, and everything. Gotta go. Till next time. Okay, this is it. I try to do as much as I can. Condenser is off. As you can see, the radiator on this whole side is loose. It's off. All I gotta do is remove these two holes on this side and these two clamps here. These are T25s. Remove these two. There's two on this side as well. And the transmission cooling line will come off like I told you. And that's pretty much it. Everything's off. And you can pull the radiator out. Now I'm not done with the other side. My daughter's acting up, so I have to go. And this is it, man. Without removing the bumper, whole radiator remove, and without removing the AC lines. Okay, I am back. took this out. All these parts are out. Like I said, the radiator's pretty much out. I just have to remove the hose over there from the actual radiator body, and everything's out. Now to remove this, the clamp that holds the Freon lines for the condenser, you have to remove a bolt that's on the bottom, not this bolt here that's in the middle. That will disconnect the line. You do not want to mess with this bolt. It's like a E6 bolt. It's a reverse Allen wrench. You don't want to mess with that bolt. I'm making it clear. That's not the bolt you remove. Let me move this a little more to show you. This is not the bolt you remove. Okay? You don't remove this bolt here. No, not that. There's one that's on the bottom of that bracket. I can't see it from this side, but yeah, I can't see it from either side, but I could feel it. It's right on the bottom. Here on the bottom side. Okay, so it will be on this side all the way towards the bottom, and I believe it's a 10. I'm going to try to take it from underneath. If I can't, I'll get it from the top. I'm pretty sure I can get it from the top, but underneath there's a little hole opening right here. I'll get it done, and then the whole radiator will slide out. Let me zoom back a little bit. Okay, and this is pretty much it. The radiator, everything's intact. I mean, the bumper is intact with the AC lines still attached. To remove the condenser from this, you have to unclip this. Okay, there's two little clips here. You push them, and then this will come off. Same thing from over here. This will come off, and there's a little hook on the bottom here that it sits into. You see the plastic? Let me zoom in. Okay, you see the plastic it sits on? You need to lift it up from that plastic, and that's it. Same thing with this side. The plastic is also here. See if I can show it to you. It's way on the bottom here. This sits. See if I could get it. Okay, there it is. See the piece of plastic? This sits in it. All you gotta do is lift it up, and it comes out of that plastic. Okay, but I can't do this with one hand to show it to you. Let me see. I could do it with one hand. Just need a little maneuvering. Okay, let's see. Put it on camera. Okay, see that? See? You lift it out that plastic and move it away, and that is it. Okay, that's the same thing I'm gonna do on this side after I remove the bolt. Like I said, the bolt's on the very bottom of this bracket. Okay, of this bracket that has the two cooling line, the two AC lines on them. At the very bottom on this side of the radiator, you'll see the bolt at the very bottom. Remember, it's not the reverse Allen key or T key that you see here in the middle. It's not it. If you disconnect that, the whole AC line would depressurize and you wasted your time. Okay, I'm going to show you what this line look like. Battery low, can't use flash, dang it. Okay, I'll try my best. I shift the radiator enough to get access from underneath. Now, next to this hole where the radiator sits, this little thing here is the hole I need to access this bolt. Now, I'm gonna show it to you as much as I can, if I could. This is the bolt. Dang it. This is the bolt here. I can't get a better picture on it. My flash is low, but this is the bolt right here that you need to remove. See if I could touch it while I'm in here. Nope, I don't have enough space to get in there. But that's the bolt. That's it at the bottom, very bottom right here, black bolt. As you can see, that's the bolt right here, black bolt at the bottom of the radiator. You see it? I'm going to remove it now. All right, so the bolt is out. Let me show you. This is the bolt. I have an extension. I have an extension on it. Pretty long extension to make it easier for me to get access to it. But this whole thing can be moved to position yourself better if you don't have an extension. You adjust. Okay. See if I could show you the bolt. I can't keep the focus with my hand moving so much. But you can see where the bolt is. My bolt is pretty much out. Okay, and that's the bolt I just filled. This is it. That's the bolt. Okay, and everything's off. Now my radiator will come off. Zoom back out. As you can see, my radiator is pretty much out. That was the only thing holding it. Now let me place everything back and pull it out. I can't do this with one hand. Can I? Yep, I can. Okay, let me zoom back out. Okay, and this is my radiator. Right, let me lift this bracket off again. Okay, there it is. Radiator out. Voila. My grill, my bumper, still intact. Plenty of room to work with. And my radiator hose, my coolant hose, still attached to my condenser. And this is it. This is my AC condenser. These are all the transmission cooling lines. And over here we had two other lines that I removed. I put a bolt in. One is for power steering. The other one I'm pretty sure is power steering again. So that's it. That's everything in a nutshell. Radiator out. I have a new one that I'm about to put in. It'll slide in pretty much the same way, and I'll reverse the process, and good to go. Okay, one last part for you guys. This is the connector I was telling you about that goes into the little cups on the bottom of the radiator. They lock into place inside of a rubber seal, and the rubber seal is these. Sorry, bad grammar. But this is where it locks into place. You have to pull it out with some force, considerate force, and it'll come off. That's pretty much it. This one here, the clip came off, but I'm gonna pop it out and then put it into the new radiator if it doesn't come with one. But that's it. As you can see, the clip slides into place here, just like this one.